make sure you think it through, girl. Don't just sign your life away and sign a contract, because you never know, you might be signing yourself up to endure some hellacious type of stress. What is up, Nurse Babes? It is your Nurse Babe, Carle Rae, coming at you guys with a nursing video, girl. I'm getting back to my roots. I am back nonetheless, girl. If you guys see me looking down, I'm looking at my monitor just to make sure that I am in focus and I am in screen. So shout out to all my OG nursing babes. Thank you guys for coming back to watch this video. And if you are new to the channel, I would love it if you did subscribe. Without further ado, girl, let's go ahead and get into today's video. As you guys can tell by the title, it is a Q&A. Y'all, I have been meaning to do one of these videos for a while now, but nonetheless, I am here. If you don't follow me on my Instagram or my other social media handles, I will drop all the information down below in the description box, and I will also have it up on the screen either right here or right here. But make sure you guys are following me on my social media handles as well as YouTube. So on my Instagram the other day, I did ask a few of my subscribers to ask me all things nursing, and you guys blew up my Instagram with a bunch of questions. Unfortunately, I will not be able to get to all the questions today, but girl, I figured I would go ahead and answer some of these questions for you guys. So guys, don't forget to also thumbs up this video. If you felt like it helped you at any point throughout this video, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up or a like, or even just comment. And if you have some information that you could share as well, make sure you drop that down below. Like I always used to say in my old nursing videos, I really would love it if this channel became a nursing forum. So for everybody that's out there in nursing school or somebody that's out there new, they could always come back to this video, scroll through the comments, and just kind of find their answer to a certain type of question. Let's go ahead and get into the first question, which is from New Red. She said, did you feel like nursing school prepared you for your nursing job? No. No, I'm gonna just go straight up to the point. No, nursing school did not help me at all. So for me, I know nursing school really didn't just help me like that. It gave me like the groundwork, like the basics, like you get what I'm saying. But within nursing, it's more so of a hands-on type of field. If you guys do not know, back in the day, they didn't have like a study curriculum. You didn't have to go to school or anything like that, jizz and jazz. All you had to do was just go to the hospital and just say that you wanted to be a nurse, and they would put you in the program, and it was more so geared towards hands-on type of things. So I'm just letting you guys know, back in the day, that's how things used to roll. But yeah, girl, to answer that question and make it short, sweet, simple, to the point, nursing school really did not play a big factor in helping me. It was the hands-on type of learning that I got from my job that actually prepared me the best. So another question comes from Amira's Journey. She said, how was the TEAS test for you? To be honest, girl, I took my TEAS test when I got accepted into the nursing program. So that was in, oh child, girl, that means that I took the TEAS test in 2010. And for me, trying to buy study books and things like that, that really didn't help me. To me, I felt like it was all information that I already knew. So I really didn't study because, yeah. But I did hear one girl, after she did take her TEAS test, she said, make for sure you study like your fractions and things like that. How many ounces are in a cup and things like that. She said they really hammered her on those. So I studied up more so on my measurements, and that was pretty much it. So another question comes from the Makia Ayavana. How did you stay motivated throughout nursing school? So this right here is one of the best questions right there. How did you stay motivated throughout nursing school? The way that I stayed motivated is that I honestly, at that point, was at a dead-end job. I was working at a grocery store, either as the gas station clerk out there, or I worked sometimes in the office. So having a good support system 100% kept me motivated. Like my mom, she went above and beyond for me. Without my mom, I never would have been able to make it through the nursing program. So that is what I would tell you guys the most, is to remember where it is you're trying to be in life. Remember your purpose, remember your why. That's what kept me motivated, and then also having the support system of my family. Another question comes from Christina Yvonne. She said, any regrets? Do you ever feel like it wasn't worth it? So I actually don't have any regrets at all as far as in becoming a nurse. Now, when you work certain jobs, you have a regret or like, damn, like, man, I'm tired of nursing, like I'm getting tired of this. But you also got to understand, what is it that you're tired of? Is it the fact that you're tired of that job and how bad they are treating you? Then if so, then baby girl, you need to move and elevate. Are you tired of that that world of nursing? So say you are in ICU. Are you tired of just being an ICU nurse? Are you tired of being on the floor? Are you tired of, you know, just several different things like that? So I would honestly ask you guys, what in particular are you tired of? Are you tired of being at the bedside? Are you tired of your specialty that you went into? Then if so, then baby girl, you might need to change some of those things, but still stay within your umbrella of nursing and figure out if it was just that specialty or being on the floor, which is what made you tired. But for me, I don't actually have any regrets. I found myself loving my profession and liking my job a whole lot more whenever I found a good company to work for. So, and then also with me being on YouTube in front of you guys and giving you all the information that I know as a nurse, this is my information that I'm giving to you guys. So, like I said, with me finding the job that I'm at right now and being in front of you guys, I 100% have zero regrets. Now, if you had caught me a few years back when I was at that crazy ER that was having critical patient after critical patient, like we would still have our 4-to-1, but it will be with super severe critical patients. So at that time, being at that busy hospital, that is the only time that I honestly regretted becoming a nurse, because the workflow was so heavy. It was just too much for me. But once I got myself out that situation, baby girl, I can honestly say now with a clear head that I don't have any regrets. So Christina Yvonne always asks, what was my worst experience? So my worst experience as a nurse, and remember, like I just said, I've been a nurse for 9 years. My worst experience was with my management. I swear I hated it. At that older hospital, it was like a super crazy trauma center. You would get a critical chest pain, you would get a cold stroke, you would get a patient that need lab and blood work and things like that, and you will still have a patient that needs to go upstairs, and you still gotta do like some of the admission orders because they're holding. Like that right there ran me down, and I hated it when I would go to my charge nurse and I would tell her, like, hey, I need help, I'm drowning over here. But at the time, there was nobody to help. So that was one of my worst experiences. But just to put it into perspective, to give you an example, at one time we were on we were on divert. And so if you guys do not know what divert means, that means that to all the ambulances out there, hey, the hospital is overwhelmed with what we have right now. So if you could, please go to a different hospital because we can't manage another critical patient. That's simply put what divert means. So with us being on divert, you guys can already know that the environment was very, very stressful and high. It was like a high intensity type of stress. And so our nurse managers, they had came down to the floor to help us out and everything like that. And so what ended up happening is that I was already in a room with a critical patient. And so my nurse manager said, hey, I know you're gonna get another critical patient, but I will get this patient started up for you. So I let her have that. She did that and everything like that. But also at the same time, one of my patients was having an altercation. I wouldn't say like a physical altercation, but just like a verbal altercation with one of the doctors. So once the patient got back to the ER room, she spoke with the doctor, told the doctor why she was there and everything like that. And she told the doctor what she wanted. The doctor disagreed with her and they had a verbal altercation right there in the hallway. But at the same time, I'm dealing with one of my other critical patients. So the patient ended up storming out, creating a big scene and leaving the hospital and writing a bad review. So wouldn't you know, that in turn fell upon my lap, and I had to go see, what do you call them people? The patient service recovery people. At that point, I was very, very, very upset and distraught because I felt like, how dare you tell me that, okay, I know you're over here comforting for this patient that's pretty much circling the drain and about to die, but at the same time, this perfectly stable patient that's mad at the physician, I need you to try to go do some patient recovery type of techniques. Like, I'm sorry, but as a nurse working in the emergency room, you have to go into the room of the patient that needs you the absolute most. Right then and there, the patient was perfectly fine and stable, and she was talking to the physician. The physician was at the bedside. There was no need for me to be in that room. My critical urgent need was for me to be in the room with my patient that was circling the drain. So that's where I was. So I didn't understand why I got in trouble for that. But at the same time, I just took it on the chin, and I understood that that hospital system was no longer gonna serve me or do me any justice, so I decided to leave. So that was honestly one of my worst experiences, was with management. So I will tell you straight up and down, if you don't have a good nurse manager, you probably won't have a good experience working at that hospital. I'm gonna just tell you that straight up. Love Chelsea XO, she did ask, what is your advice to nursing students? So my advice to new nursing students is make for sure that you are becoming a sponge. Soak up everything that you absolutely can soak up. Soak it up all, girl. Take several notes, and don't let anything, anyone, anybody, any entity, any situation deter you from your dream, your goal, which is to become a nurse. Like, nothing was gonna get in my way of stopping me from becoming a nurse and elevating myself. So that is what I would say to you guys, is make for sure you have a laser focus on your goal, and you will accomplish that if you have that laser focus. Next question comes from Chanel 625. She said, how do you feel about hospitals that make new grads sign contracts? Simply put, sis, don't sign your life away. Honestly, do not sign your life away. And the only reason why I say this is because they will make you sign these contracts, and you are theirs for the next 2-3 years. And if you are going to go ahead and sign that contract, then I would say this to you. Find out what the terms of that contract is, because some hospital contracts last for 2 years, some last for 3, some last for 1 year, some last for 6 months. So find out what the terms of that contract is and just weigh your options. But I know for me, I would want to do that, because who's to say that I'm gonna like my nurse manager? Who's to say that I'm gonna actually like being in that facility that long? You get what I'm saying? So I know for me, whenever I first started out as a nurse in the emergency room, I didn't sign no contract. I only worked at that one hospital for a year just to gain experience, and then I elevated up. Every single job that I have went to, I have elevated up, meaning that I did not have that same pay that I started out with this first job. So my first job started paying me $19 an hour. So my next job that I jumped to in Dallas paid me $31 an hour. So to sum it all up, I would totally just ask yourself, how long can I see myself working at this job? Are there any other hospitals within my area that are hiring for the specialty that I would like to be in? Make sure you think it through, girl. Don't just sign your life away and sign a contract, because you never know, you might be signing yourself up to endure some hellacious type of stress. So one of my friends, she's funny as hell. Her name is Rebecca Weber, and she said, can I smoke weed after gallbladder removal? Hell no, Quisha. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. That was funny. She is funny. Oh my God. So this next one is so funny. So this girl, Abigail Hackreese, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. But she said, craziest story you had when a patient was checking in. Craziest story that I had was when a patient checked in, and I could tell that the mentation was off. Patient pooped in a bag and brought the poop up to me when I was triaging her, and said that there was a demon in her poop. Yeah, and she honestly sat the Ziploc bag full of poop on my desk and told me that there was a demon in her poop. Not like a worm or anything like that. She said it was a full-blown demon. She said that she was fighting a devil and he was trying to take over her soul. Girl, I was just, at that point, honey, I had mentally already checked out, sis. So yeah, that honestly had to be one of the craziest. And then of course, like all the other emergency rooms, you can ask any other emergency room nurse. One of the craziest stories is when people get foreign objects stuck up places where they shouldn't be, honestly. Whether it's in your hoo-ha or whether it's in your rectum. those stories are always funny to me. So Miss Black Beauty said, do you recommend online nursing with clinicals at a facility like hospitals? I do not recommend online nursing. I would honestly say for this specific reason, and I mean to each his own, but I know me, I'm a kinesthetic learner, meaning that I'm very active and I'm hands-on. So all of my online classes that I had, like for my prereqs start before nursing, I didn't do too hot in them. For me, I like my teacher to be directly in front of me. I like to be able to ask any questions that I need to ask. And it's something about a classroom setting for me that just sets me up to do good. So if you can do online nursing, then girl, by all means, and that may be beneficial for you. But I know for me, and me being a very active hands-on learner, I couldn't do it. That's not my strong suit. So I would honestly say to each his own, girl, but for me, no, it's a no. Forever Melissa said, do you ever think you'll leave bedside nursing? If so, why and for what type of job? So honestly, I probably will end up leaving bedside nursing because let's be realistic. Like, who wants to be up on their feet for 12 hours at the bedside for when they're like 50, 60, 70 plus? So I know at some point floor nursing or bedside nursing will not be for me. If I could do this type of job full time or be like an educator or something like that, then I totally would do that type of job. Like, this right here is my passion. So I would honestly love it if I could do this type of job full time, but I don't know, girl, because that's another demon in itself. Because honey, if you're not putting out dramified type of like, oh my God, I quit YouTube, like clickbaity type of videos, then YouTube sometimes won't push the video out there and you won't get the amount of views and the amount of money that you need as far as in like to generate an income. So she asked another question. She said, do nurses really eat their young? And yes, they do. And so if you don't know what that means, she's asking, do older nurses typically be mean and very rude to the newer nurses? And some facilities do. But let me tell you what I would do in that situation. Kill them with kindness. Honestly, 100%. Don't allow somebody that's so negative and so mean to reflect that type of energy upon you. And then now they got you feeling a certain type of way. No ma'am, no ma'am. So if somebody was being rude to me, I'd be like, okay, well, sorry girl that you're having a moment right now, but you know, girl, I just came to ask you a question, honey, but I see that I need to ask somebody else, but okay, bye, hon. You know, so I would do something like that. Like, always kill them with kindness. No need to show your colors or anything like that, because let's be real. Whose side the hospital or your nurse manager gonna take? They're gonna take the side of that older nurse, because that older nurse has probably been there longer than you have. Blessed is she. She said, how was the NCLEX for you? So I'm gonna tell you straight up and down, NCLEX for me was very much so stressful. I passed it in 75 questions. Whoop, 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 whoop. So I did pass it in 75 questions, which I think at that time was the least amount that you can get. I don't know if they have changed that or not, but I took this test in 2012 and that was the least amount of questions that you could get. You either passed it very highly or you failed it miserably. NCLEX for me was very much so stressful. I felt like even with all the study material that I did, I personally felt like it didn't help me, but apparently it did in some weird, awkward type of way. Like, I don't know. Like, if you ever, this is what they used to say, if you ever walked out of taking your NCLEX and felt like, what the fuck was that? Then you probably did good. But if you walked out of your NCLEX and you felt like, oh yeah, I aced that, I did really good, you probably flunked. So let's just be realistic, girl. So Alex and Dr. V, she asked, do you get paid more per hour when you work as a charge nurse? So that will vary per facility. I know for my facility, they do pay me $5 more per hour to charge, but at my previous facility, that really crazy stressful hospital that trauma center that I had just came from, they only paid the charge nurse $1 more to be charged. So, and some facilities don't pay their nurses at all. So it just will vary per facility. Krishanda Nicole said, did you ever work on a med-surg floor? No, ma'am, I did not, because I knew I wanted to be an emergency room nurse. And if anybody tells you that you need to start at med-surg, do not start at med-surg if you know that's not the floor you want to be on. Go to the floor that you want to be on. If you want to be an L&D nurse, apply for L&D. Don't start at med-surg. I don't know who came up with that idea and told y'all that y'all have to start at med-surg, but you don't. Somebody said, how bad was math in school before becoming a nurse? Or are you good at math? I'm good at math, and nursing school, we had dimensional analysis is what they call it. So it was pretty easy. So not too bad. Somebody said, love you, so inspiring to us upcoming nurses. Love you too, girl. And like I said, this is what my video is for. I really want this to become like a nursing forum. So make for sure you guys like this video, comment down below, subscribe. If you guys are doing all of those things, YouTube will push this video out further along the logarithm and get this in front of more potential nurses or more future nurses or more graduate nurses. Somebody said, how did you retain all the information you learned in nursing school? Like I said, nursing school really was just like the groundwork. And so I learned the bulk of everything when I actually hit the floor. So don't stress about that and retaining all that information. Just know that you'll learn and everything will make sense more so whenever you hit the floor. And as far as in dealing with the pressure first starting off as a new nurse, I'm not gonna lie, that part was very much so stressful because I went into a high-paced environment. As you guys know, I'm an emergency room nurse, so that's very high-paced. So all I did, honestly, to kind of calm myself down, because remember, when you're in a high stressful type of environment, it's easier for you to make a mistake. So what I did was just slow myself down, make sure I dotted my I's, crossed my T's, and if I had any questions whatsoever at all, baby, I asked them 100%. If I ran into a person or a nurse that was unable to help me or give me the right answer that I felt that I needed, I would go to my charge nurse. So never, ever, ever be afraid to ask questions. So shout out to everybody that did send over some questions. Like I said, I didn't get to all of them, but I am very much so thankful to everybody that did send over some questions for me. So if you guys have any more information that you would like new nurses or potential nurses to know, then make for sure you leave that down below in the comment section. But like I said previously, guys, make for sure you guys are thumbsing up this video. Just give this video a like, girl. It's costing you nothing. Just go down below, click the like button, comment if you want to comment, and subscribe, because I would love to have you in the Nurse Babe gang. Also as well, girl, I can't leave the video without telling y'all about these awesome scrubs that I am in. So if you guys do not know, I am the owner and creator of NurseBabes Scrubs. The website is www.nursebabes.org, where I have these super cute scrubs right here that I created. So if you guys can see, the scrub top has a zipper feature, which I absolutely love about that. It gives you like a little peekaboo, and then right here it has like a little pocket that you can put your pens and things in, as well as your phone. It's still very much so functional type of pocket. All right guys, so my camera did die, so I'm on my phone, so I will go ahead and show you guys these scrubs. As I was saying, this is the scrub top. It has the one pocket feature as well as a zipper. And on the pants, they do have two front pockets. They do have a elastic waistband, tie strings right here, as well as a side pocket with a clip. And this side pocket, as you guys can see, is very, very, very much so very long. So I love that. If you guys are interested in checking out some of my scrubs, then make for sure you guys look down below in my description box. So just make sure you guys go over there and check that out. But I will go ahead and get up out of here, guys, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye, babes.